thermometer. And the thermometer says, see, I don't know, like Save Bear Hill Preserve or whatever, and it has like, I think it was $75,000 that we had amassed at David Poiters. I'm sorry to say at that time, I'm not even sure if I knew if I had ever even been to Bear Hill, and that was 5 years living here. So I go into the library, and Dorothy Oakes was the librarian at the time. I said, what the heck is Bear Hill, and what is this, and all that stuff. So she tells me, I'm really proud, I put down at that time, I pledged $10 a year for 3 years. That was my pledge, but I made up for it in the upcoming years. So what that did, that thermometer and that, and I keep walking, and I come into the library, and if any of you knew Dorothy Oakes, she'd snag you in there. She got me to start volunteering at the library. At that time, I was still useful. It was in the pre-computer. So I could still actually be helpful there at the library. Then, though, Dorothy wasn't set with me being involved. She says, well, how would you like to be a board member? So we went to that. Then she was resigning from, then my life totally changed when she decided to resign from the Cragsmore Association and had one of her pals come and ask me if I wanted to be a member of the Cragsmore Association board. And of course, a couple months later, all heck broke loose. So the rest is history, but that's kind of how I got involved with the library. And just forgive me for just reading just a real couple small points here. So I am indebted to the Cragsmore Free Library for facilitating my first connection to this wonderful mountaintop community and for defining my passion, which is really advocacy work in one form or another, whether it's with the library or whether it's with the Cragsmore Association or the Bashakil Area Association. It has been a real privilege to serve as one of the many stewards who have over the years worked hard to nurture this library and help it thrive, and many of these stewards are present today here. I am particularly pleased that the current library board has continued this legacy of excellent service. Thank you very much for your support of this garden. Thank you for honoring us with a community garden, because community has and will always be very important to my husband and myself.
When she was wandering around those mountains for 2 years, I had to take 3 jobs. Before I go further,
that was good. Okay.
Before I go further, I really need to introduce the board. Rebecca Leonard is the secretary. Well, we all know who Hattie is. David McCoffin is the treasurer. And Tricia, who's hiding in the background. Playing plant lady again. But it's been a really great team. We've had a wonderful time. And it was just amazing to see how everybody came together and got involved in this project, and it's really turned out well. So now we've got the mother of the mountain.
You're going to die after this one.
I can run faster than you can. Mary Ann has always loved the written word and is a strong believer in libraries. She and Lon were part of a very successful block association in the Upper West Side, 85th Street? 85th Street, and came up here armed and ready when they arrived in Cragsmore to be advocates. And it's really worked out well. Through skillful fundraising and tireless energy, and finding and obtaining NYS grants, Mary Ann has to take the responsibility for a lot of the huge amount of capital improvements that have been done to the library. as I said before, the parking lot, the roof, the shed, and the fact that we had funding through corporate matching or state matching grants to do a lot of the renovation. And like I said, the one thing left was the yard, right? So she gets a little curve here. Mary Ann's also increased our book and CD collection, and the main thing is that she's been really making a lot of changes in the library, which the library is going to benefit for a long time after this. And we really appreciate all the work she's put into it. So, Mary Ann.
Yes.
Well, I know how much she's done.
John really can run faster than I am. I'm glad I forgot my speech because I forgot when you wear glasses that they get wet and you don't have. Anyway. The McKennies and the Mowers came up here to actually get away from. We were burned out from an enormous amount of work that we did, and we came up here to rest and relax and vegetate. And then we met Dorothy Oakes, who invited us to a party, and once she got us in her house, all of a sudden we were having a fundraiser for the library. And that started it, and it just never stopped. And I have to tell you that Paula Medley is the one who said, just come on the Cragsmore Association board for just one term. It's just a year.
I
lied. This community, we were very lucky. We consider ourselves very lucky that we ended up here. This community, you people, this library has been a shining moment in our lives. It's also been a considerable aggravation. But we like to forget that. I have to say that along with the amount of joy that I've had doing this whole project, Lon and Jim were the ones who carried the tables and the books, and so they didn't enjoy it quite so much. I'm going to make this very quick.
The speech shorter.
I'm going to. Now you know what I have to live with. Joyce Eric was the one who got me in the library. I worked for the library almost from the first 5 minutes I was in the community. But Joy was the one who again said, just come on the board for one, it's only 3 years. This is 20-something years later. She was really a moving force in getting the library updated, and she was somebody who understood that the library was a business and had to be run like that. She found out she had cancer when she turned 60 years old, and she didn't make it to 61. And the one thing she always hated about this library was the front, and especially the crappy bridge thing that we had. And so this bridge is dedicated to Joy and to her husband, Paul, who were library supporters for years and years and years. Now I'm supposed to go over and cut the ribbon?
What we're going to do now...
Now that bridge was a sheet of plywood we carried down here before a library day so people could cross, and it lasted 25 years.
Could someone remove this person?
Security. So we need Mary Ann and Lon on the other side, on the parking lot side of the bridge. And we need everybody else on this side. Because Chris Raleigh is here, and there's a couple other folks.